What's the word on the realest platform on YouTube, man? American Cholo. You already know what it is. We in the building today. It's a beautiful Wednesday. We about to have a sit down, you know, a nice conversation. I got my boys in the building with me today. You already know what it is, man. What's up with y'all?
Man, it's battling traffic like every other day,
That shit
bro.
is crazy, fool.
You know, LA traffic ain't no joke, bro.
Yeah.
So everybody who's from out of state, man, stay in your state. Don't
Please.
come here. Please stay there because traffic is terrible.
Yeah, we don't want you. We don't want you. You're not welcome. There's too many people. And we're not friendly.
Insane, bro. It's insane, dog. Especially today. You know, I was, you know, I left later than usual, and it's like it's crazy, like the time difference, how much it matters. Like when you leave your pad.
Bro, like 10 minutes is like another 30 minutes on your fucking travel, dog.
100%.
Ridiculous,
I was like, fuck, I'm gonna be there late as fuck.
Don't get your socks wet, fool.
Man, bro, like sometimes I'd be doing like just like 3 hours, 4 hours, like in traffic, right? Like, you know, throughout the day. And I'm like,
For a total of 20 miles.
yeah. and just thinking about it, bro, like thinking about like when I lived back east, man, if you drove like 3 hours or 4 hours north, I'm like, you're in New York, man. I was in DC. So like you pass through like 5 states, bro. Here, like you're still in the city.
Yeah, you ain't got nowhere.
And if you hear Frank but can't see him, it's because he's got a camel hat on. You know, so he's just kind of blending in right now.
Yeah, it's the sweater and the shirt that's just floating there, that white tee.
Yeah.
That's Frank.
But shit, man, imagine when the Olympics comes. Well, it's gonna come.
2028.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Imagine the traffic, dog.
Bro, insane. Man, I don't even think we have the infrastructure right now to kind of support something like that.
Okay,
Like,
hold on. Did you see, though, what happened in San Francisco?
what happened in Frisco?
Okay, so did you see when like the president of China went and visited?
Oh yeah, they cleared everybody out, right?
Not just that. Okay, so they have an app where you can look at they literally pinpoint all the pieces of shit that are on the street in San Francisco, right?
Hold up, like actual?
An actual one, right? So there is this like fucking Senate hearing, right, where they're going down this dude's fucking neck, and they brought up the app, and pretty much all of San Francisco is covered in brown, right? So the point was basically like you can do it for the Chinese president, but not your own, because when you see the videos, bro, the streets look like they were power washed, bro. Everything is clean, it's caged up. They put Chinese flags up for him, let him come through. I feel like we don't have the infrastructure. Then you see shit like that, and it's like,
well,
you know,
the caveat to that is China probably owns San Francisco.
So San Francisco Chinese.
He's coming home.
It's a lot of. I'm sure there's a lot of businesses for the Chinese
in Cali ain't owned, bro. China probably owns Cali too. They own. I believe they own Texas too, like literally outright owned.
Yo, Chris, can we get the volume up? We got people saying the volume hella low.
That's a good point though.
No, yeah.
Big Papa came home.
Yeah, but that's gonna be wild, bro, to see the traffic during that time. It's gonna be fucking. You're gonna have people from all over the world up in Cali, bro.
Yeah.
Or LA specifically.
LA specifically, like you said, 2028. You know, we're slotted to have the Olympics here, and man,
I think even before, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, but even before that is the World Cup.
The World Cup in 2026, right?
Yeah.
So basically they're just gonna ship out a bunch of homeless people for like 2 months, and we're gonna have none in the streets.
I think Newsom's already starting.
Yeah, he's closing the encampments or whatever, right? Yeah.
Enjoy it while
I guess that's a good thing.
Well, yeah, you know,
they're gonna bring him back.
He's trying to save face.
Yeah,
like he's trying to save face because like it's an election season, right? Like he wants to look the best that he can.
Oh,
you can't hear me?
We got OG.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah.
No, okay. Have you turned all those things up all the way? Turn them all up, please. All halfway.
That wasn't a ghost.
Nah,
that was Gil.
That was Gil. God
that was
himself
OG.
coming down the
Hey man, but
podcast,
since we on the topic of the Olympics, you know, there's a couple things that's been going on with the fucking Olympics. But one of the first things that I think, you know, we could bring up, since we like to kick it off with sports and we love boxing.
So give countdown, baby, and we'll just rock and roll.
Jeez.
There we go. There we go.
Damn.
It's the
What's
ghost
up?
of podcast.
Big Gil gonna say something?
Let me know because I'm not gonna be able to talk to the guys. I can hear you guys on the phone only.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
You hear me?
Wait, so the audience can't hear him? Oh, we got him live on the phone right now.
Watch out.
trying to put a split screen.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Just
Add him to the convo real quick.
It's a Zoom meeting.
All you gotta do is go studio mode and transfer it over, bud.
It's an intervention.
Transfer it over.
it's an intervention.
It's an intervention.
Sorry, Chris. Hey, bro.
This is like a podcast Zoom.
Now make sure
coordinating.
everybody can hear me. Let me hear Doughboy Tony.
Yo, what up, Gil?
Yeah, you can hear him. Yeah.
But can the chat hear him?
Yes,
That's
no,
the question.
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't
the
know.
chat
Can the chat hear him?
Yeah, the chat can
We need
hear.
to- Oh, okay. Yeah, they can hear him. They can hear him. They can hear
There you
him.
go.
I'm using a big ass speaker.
All right, what's up, people? So, I hold on. Let me turn this down so I don't get the echo. So, what's up, people? I'm not in the building today. I'm at the old studio, but as you can see, we're here, getting ready. We're here, getting ready, man. Try to take care of a lot of needy families out there. This is what it looks like to kick back into the community, man.
Hell yeah.
And what I want to do is give especially a special shout out. We're trying to give 100 backpacks. We got more like 200 because only one person, believe it or not, which kind of, I feel certain. Only one person donated, man. One person out of all 80,000 subscribers, out of 40,000 Instagram followers, out of 40,000 TikTok followers, only one person donated, and that was Moises, man. Moises is always in the comment section. He's always the one giving out free memberships. So I want to thank Moises from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my wife's heart. Thank Moises. Thank his family. We appreciate this. Thank his family. We appreciate you. We got over the 100 of these. We got more like 200. And that just came 100. And that just came through today. So we went back and bought some more, man. But as you guys can see, we're here doing it, man. We're going to start packing these up right now. And then tomorrow you guys can pull up Valley Plaza Park in North Hollywood if you need a backpack for your kid, for your cousin, for whoever it is. And if not, if you want to just come support, man, come through. It's still not too late to support. Maybe get some donation on this live chat. Hit my Instagram, whatever it is.
Sheesh.
Oh man.
Man, shout out to OG, bro.
Hey man, big shout out to
And
OG. Y'all
Moises,
heard him,
too.
man. Tomorrow, August 1st, Valley Plaza Park, right?
Valley-
North Hollywood.
North Hollywood.
Man, take the family through.
Yeah.
Go get some school supplies. You know, Big Gil doing it for the community, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shit.
since only Moses showed love, Moses
Ain't nobody
showed love.
doing it. He doing it.
Yeah, y'all should go
Man.
down there.
It's it goes back to like really taking care of your community in any way that you can,
Yeah.
right? It's
Hell yeah.
something that we preach here time and time again, and having done that, and I think you've been privy to it, right? Like
Yeah.
we've thrown some of these events down where we're from there in Santana, and it's an incredibly difficult, like logistically, just to like have all the donations or like get donations to kind of put the whole event together. So my heart goes out to Big Gil because he's really doing it out of love. Like there's nothing that he expects in return, just individuals to like show up
Facts.
and to be there for the community. And we need I always bring this saying because shout out to the Hood Santa, aka Tito Rodriguez out there in Long Beach. But Tito always says like it takes us to save us, and that's exactly what Gil's doing, in his community, right? Like
Yeah.
he's taking the initiative, and I live by this mantra, like you don't get extra credit for being who you say you are.
Yep.
Yep.
So if you're that dude and you say you're for the community, then put your money where your mouth is, and being able to go out there and do things like this specifically for your community it's admirable to say the least. But like, man, mad love to Big Gil.
Hell yeah.
Doing off the
Big ups,
muscle,
big
man.
ups. And before we get started, before we continue, man, big ups to Moises for the 5 gifted in the chat, man. Moises, appreciate that. Hell yeah. But so we were talking about the Olympics. We like to kick it off with a little bit of sports, but I saw some bullshit has been circulating the internet, bro. So there's a transgender boxer, male to female, who was just beating up on some chick who happened to be Raza, bro.
Yeah.
Just straight mollywhopping her, bro. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that, but that shit is foul, bro. Super foul.
Fetty Wap. Goose dude.
Huh?
Huh?
But nah, yeah, obviously, I don't even think I had to ask about your guys' opinions on that. But did you guys see that video?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You haven't seen it?
Nah.
You need to watch
Bro,
it, man.
I'm pretty sure I could play it in my head.
I think it's at the Worlds where they were fighting back in I think this past year.
Yeah.
But us being big combat, sport fans, and obviously being in combat sports, I'm like, look, like, man, there's weight. First of all, there's weight classes for a reason, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So like even moving from like different weight classes, the power is different, but definitely, male to female, like that biological difference.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason why a biological male should be fighting a woman in any combat sport at all whatsoever.
Facts.
Yeah. To be honest, man, like I think if it's not China or Japan, I can't co-sign it, right? Because only China and Japan can fucking do freak show matches, and they do shit like that all the time. My question is like, all right, if that's the case, then are we going to get rid of like concepts of like domestic violence in America? Because it's clearly wrong, right? Like when I go and I beat on my woman, if all is fair, I'm not going to really look at those things the same way, because in combat, if I'm co-signing this dude to just put on, his ID female now and then go beat up on this girl, I know his bone density is different. I know his testosterone levels are different. Even if you take estrogen, even if you lower your testosterone, right? Even if your bone density drops slightly, like it's all slight measures, you're exponentially stronger, faster, just more athletic than females across the board, man. So it's kind of like, all right, well, if I'm going to co-sign it, then I got to co-sign that across the board, because it's pretty fucked up to expect people to put their lives on the line and train, right? It's fucked up if you hit this girl. It's really fucked up. Like any of us here are gonna run up on you if we see you just molly-whopping some chick on the street. That's 4, 5, 6 hits, right? I'm beating the dog piss out of that. But then why am I gonna allow this to happen for 25 minutes to somebody, man? Like it's just wrong on every level. And if that's the case, we don't just have weight divisions for a reason. We've never done that for a reason. Yeah. And if you transition, why don't we just keep them in men's league?
Yeah.
Why do they have to go over? You're a female fighter that doesn't care.
I guess it's like a politically correct thing to do.
Yeah. And also you would
put them
lose.
with the females.
Nah, like
no, yeah, I don't agree either. I'm just saying, I think like
how is it politically correct to put a woman's life in danger?
That's the point.
People die.
That's what people believe right now. Like I'm talking about the people in charge believe that shit. Believe it or not, they're all for it. They're all pro trans men, female converting to women, be able to use women's
the whole
LGBT
and identity thing.
Yeah, like they're all for that. So I guess in the current like politics, that's politically correct. Is allowing him to participate in that event, which I don't agree with at all.
But we also mentioned something one of these past shows that we were here, right? Of like us men being bigger advocates for our women. And you have some male boxers out there, like obviously, Ryan Garcia being the first to come out and wanting to boycott the Olympics. And, you need more of these men, especially men in power, like the Canelos of the world, really to come out and say, like, look, man, like, enough is enough. Like, it's not cool.
But you have had female fighters that have came out too, man, and been like, because like you had Fallon Fox a while ago, right? Who was an MMA fighter that was a male that transitioned. And the reality of it is, look, when these dudes transition, they transition because they were shit in their leagues, right? Fallon Fox was a terrible fighter. That bodybuilder that just crushed the world record for all women was a terrible male bodybuilder. And you're stealing everything from women at that point, bro. And that's my point. It's kind of like it's like a paradox. You're being politically correct to this LGBTQ community, but then you're not really being fair at all to just what you would call cisgendered women nowadays. Why are you going to allow her to get her orbital broke?
Where the fuck are the women rights there?
You know what I mean? Like you're literally taking them away from one party just to give them to another and be like, oh, well, you're going to fight dudes now. Well, I can't. We all know it's fucked up to hit a girl in the street. Why are you going to hit a girl in the ring, dog? Right? Stop the game. Create a league for trans people, right?
Yeah.
There's women's league, men's league, trans.
I thought about that too. Like, why don't they just create a fucking trans league? But, bro,
that should be crazy.
Nah, but trans dudes aren't gonna fight in that league, bro. Like, let's be real, bro. These motherfuckers that are athletes and they convert to they're participating in the events with females. because they know how much more
Low
dominant they
level.
can be.
It's because they couldn't hack it with the men.
If they make a trans league, bro,
Yeah.
they're gonna know they're fighting other dudes.
Okay, but check
they're not
this
gonna
out.
want to participate in that shit.
But check this out.
they're trying to take the easy way.
They sucked 100%, right? They
Yeah.
sucked fighting against the best of the world, and they should not have joined. Like, get out of here, G. You're not this level. Okay, but now you have a pool full of people that all made that decision, and they all kind of suck. So, this is a freak show. These guys all suck, or women all suck. Let's see who the best shitty fucking fighter is. You have a better opportunity here. This is JV. You know.
You know what would make that more interesting? If you let them juice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, they're already Jews.
You-
Technically,
well,
low key.
well,
Females
Yeah.
juice?
Yeah.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
So then they just stay. They take off estrogen and just stay on natural
Bro,
hormone.
just
That girl's test is fucking through the roof, G.
just some roids, bro.
Yeah,
They're like, no,
testosterone of a
it's
32-year-old man.
it's mandatory.
I think the only
that'd
answer
be
to that
crazy.
shit is just not letting it happen. Honestly,
So who do you think is at fault?
I don't think you can do that either.
I
though.
don't know, dog.
You
Man,
think-
why not though?
Because then the
Fool, you
political.
think Dana White ever's gonna let some dude?
Hell no,
Exactly.
nah.
That's
Hell
what I'm
no.
saying.
Dana won't.
Dana White ain't with
Yeah.
that shit. That's what I'm saying.
But you
like,
can't
it's
stop.
possible.
I guess I should ask, what do you mean by not let them, like, not let trans people fight, like, even in their own league? Or
If they got a trans
yeah.
league, then let them handle.
But not the way they're
You know,
doing it right
I
now.
don't think they should do it the way we're doing right now at all.
That's terrible.
You're putting these women's lives in danger, bro.
Yeah, and if any, dude, you better pay them like 4 times the amount. This is the one area where I'm gonna be like, you should get paid twice as much as a man just because you're a woman. Sorry, right? Because like, dude, think about what you're putting on the line, dog. Like, I had an agreement. Things were all fair, weight class, etc., training camps. Well, now you just you threw a whole nother element in the mix, and no matter what, I have to be such a badass female fighter to be able to really compete with this guy, and to be able to hurt him the way he can hurt me. It's like, it's kind of fucked up. And also, one thing I want to throw in there, isn't it kind of fucked up as a coach to let your fighter take that fight?
Yeah.
And that's something that nobody's talking about. Like, where's your corner at? Why are they letting that happen? Don't do the fight.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck that.
Motherfuckers need to just protest that shit, bro.
Shut up,
It's
yeah.
just don't fight.
Yeah, but that's the hardest thing to protest right now. Identity politics. Good luck.
Especially as an athlete, bro. You get to a certain level, such as the Olympics, and it's like this is what you work for.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
know,
life.
yeah.
And it's kind of hard to just give that up, but at the same
Yeah,
time, it's like fuck that.
But I guess I didn't think of that. But at the same time, like, yeah, you're not gonna let this person take that from you regardless. But like, damn, the ladder just got so much taller. You know what I mean? It just got so much harder now for no reason, just randomly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the transgender in the video, the he, she, they, whatever it is, they fight tomorrow. So we're gonna see, maybe what the outcome of that is gonna be, bro.
Pack that
I
fool out
would
in the parking
assume
lot.
that it's gonna be the same as what we saw in that fight, that clip.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dog. You know?
I hope this gets packed out, bro.
Yeah, we
That would be nice.
Pack them out in the
That would
parking
be
lot.
nice.
Hey, you know who I would bank to win though? If you could just throw any fighter at this motherfucker, Amanda Nunes.
Oh, she's a dog.
Yeah.
She's a dog.
She'll fuck that dude up.
For
Or
sure.
Chick up. Whatever. Yeah.
Think so? I still
know
think
so.
I don't know.
She trains
dog. I
with men
still
all the
think-
time.
Yeah,
She's
bro.
on roids, G.
Cyborg.
She's on roids, G. Cyborg's on roids.
Cyborg.
Come on, bro.
Cyborg. Hold on. Cyborg.
Cyborg's on
Yes.
roids.
Cyborg. Yes. But also, Amanda Nunes and Cyborg are Brazilian. They don't need roids. Brazilian people are built different when they fight, dog. 100%. They're built different. Train with any Brazilian, Dagestani, Russian person born there, not just because their blood is. If you're American, you're soft and squishy like the rest of us. But these Brazilians, these Russians, bro, they feel like wood when you grapple with these fools, dog. They're built different. Amanda Nunes actually trains with a lot of dudes, spars with dudes. Like, that's, you look at her and Cyborg are like, they don't fight like women at all. They fight like dudes, bro. You know what I mean? So you put Amanda Nunes, put Cyborg in there, bro. Like, let's do this shit in Japan. Box with Cyborg. Let it be a hybrid fight, kind of like, what's his name? Not Sanchai. Who's the fool that always, Rod Tang and Mighty Mouse. Did you ever see that fight?
That was a great fight.
And it was a hybrid fight.
Yeah.
It was 1 round Muay Thai, 1 round Jiu-Jitsu, right? Let the dude box out with fucking Amanda Nunes, let her weather the storm, and then you go MMA round the second fight, and I promise you, Amanda Nunes is going to beat that dude into a pulp and then choke his ass out. Hey, let him break. No tap.
Yeah,
Tap before.
definitely doable.
Yeah, right. That's fair.
But since we're on the topic of boxing, man, what do you guys think about Canelo's next fight? Hey, look, as a Canelo fan, I love Canelo, bro, but it's a little disappointing to see. But at the same time, it's like, man, fuck it, you know. He's just gonna run through somebody else, dog.
You want to hear?
Does
You want to hear my theory? So my theory on that is two things. Number one, the Puerto Rico-Mexico rivalry in boxing is enormous.
Yeah.
It's gonna sell.
Yeah.
It's gonna sell regardless, right? Because you also have like a great undercard fight. You have the Danny Garcia coming back and fighting Lara, which is a great fight within itself.
Yeah.
Right? Danny hasn't been active for like the last 2 years. The last person he fought was, funny enough, Benavidez' brother.
Oh.
It was the younger Benavidez. Yeah, the older Benavidez. So,
it's all
Damn
part of
it,
the
2 years
script, G.
off, G.
It's all part of the
Yeah,
script.
it's all part of the script.
it's part of the script, G. Because look,
Damn.
this is his third fight under the PBC contract. He signed a contract for 3 fights. So he gets out of his contract with this particular fight, right? The biggest fight in boxing right now, or 2 big fights in boxing, are him versus Benavidez and him versus Crawford, right? So if I'm Canelo and I'm Canelo's camp, it's like, all right, let me get out of my contract with PBC.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm going to promote this motherfucker myself. And I'm going to make all the money, right? I'm going to co-promote it with PBC because Benavidez is under PBC, right? And I'm going to co-promote it with PBC, and I'm going to make that promoter cut on top of my fighter cut, on top of everything else, right? So if I was Canelo, I would look at it from that perspective. And this makes me believe that he is going to fight Benavidez. He's taking this as a like a stay busy fight, right? With somebody who's much younger, right? Who has heavy hands, who is known to knock people out, right? Even though I think he's going to get dog walked, right? Like, you know, respect to Berlanga for taking.
Yeah, but come on, G.
Yeah, he's going to get dog
You don't
walked.
got the experience.
Nah, not at all. Not even close.
no.
Fool, you're not scared, dog? They're gonna come take you out?
Bro, he's going to
connecting
get
all these
paid.
dots, G.
He's going to.
Fuck, fool, low key.
But think about it though.
Low-key, dog.
But think about it. He's a businessman.
Nah, yeah.
So why
Yeah.
wouldn't you
Yeah.
like get out of this contract that you're in with PBC,
easy money
and then
real
go
quick.
make double the
Yep.
amount that you would have
Yep.
made if you didn't, you know, fight through PBC?
Yeah. Or you could not. Makes no sense.
He has that.
Right.
He has that fight with Crawford too. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, even though they want Crawford to come up like 3 weights,
And dude, I would much rather not have a war before Crawford.
nah. Like, even though I think Canelo beats him at 168, like, there's weight classes for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
And I love Crawford. I think he's an amazing fighter. By the way, he fights this weekend.
This weekend, August 3rd.
August
Oh,
3rd.
that's right.
August 3rd, he
right.
fights.
That
You know,
fight card is crazy.
That card is stacked,
card
bro.
is
I'm gonna
stacked.
go broke.
Yeah.
it's here in LA.
I know, I'm going broke, G.
It's here in LA. So it's an incredible fight card, right? You have so many people, so many great fighters on that card, right? Like, you know, you have Crawford fighting on that card. You have Pitbull fighting on that card. You have Andy Ruiz fighting on that
Cruz.
card. You know, so you have a lot of great fighters on that card. But I do believe if that ever ends up happening between Crawford and Canelo beats him at 168. The weight classes, bro. Look at
Yeah.
look at
Canelo beating
100%.
everybody, dog.
Yeah.
no, he obviously didn't beat Bivol, and he obviously didn't beat Mayweather, right?
yeah.
But look at Roy Jones. Roy Jones was probably one of the most gifted boxers over the last 25 years.
Do that left hook.
And then when he went up to like heavyweight, like that power is different.
Yeah. And
It's
your
different.
speed.
The speed is
Yeah.
different. The power
Your
is
body's
different.
different, man.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel
Well, that's what
different.
happened with Bivol.
Yeah.
Canelo.
Yeah.
It's the same shit that happened.
That's kind of the shitty part, though, that when you do so good in a division, you just wipe it all up, and you're like, I'm just gonna go up, and it's like, bro, yeah, maybe, but like you got to be
wasn't
like,
ready.
yeah, for real, man. You got to be a John Jones or something, man, because you go up in weight, and everything just feels like you have a wetsuit on now.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like you could have sat at that weight. Like let's say you just weighed 165 before you started fighting and training. Like you're just chilling. You're still playing ball or whatever the fuck you do. Then you start like fighting and being active at 155, and then you're like, I'm gonna go back up to 165. It doesn't feel the same anymore. It literally everything feels like you're just in a gravity suit. You're like, why am I getting hot? I can't go as fast as I'm used to going. It's like it literally feels like somebody turns the knob down on you a little bit. Right, and then you
Yeah.
have to adjust to all that. Like, I don't know. I don't like the first time I see a fighter ever move divisions, unless it's down, and then you take damage more. Right, that I'm always kind of like, I'm chilling on this fight. I just want to see what happens.
What y'all think of that fight then? The Canelo Berlanga fight.
I think Canelo's just gonna whoop his ass,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
That's
That's it.
Yeah.
that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be easy money.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna sell that fight, dog.
I wanted to see. And I'd rather see him fight somebody else, but if that's what he's got, then
Yeah, I'd
fuck
wait
it.
for Crawford. I'd be cool with this fight not happening.
He's gonna fight Benavidez. It's gonna happen.
That's what I want.
It's
that's what I really want.
That's what I want.
It's gonna happen,
Yeah.
but the businessman in me believes that he's going to kind of prolong it so he can make the most money possible.
Which he
right?
should.
I know a lot of fans get upset with like fighters and saying, "Well, you're not fighting the toughest fights every single fight." I'm like, bro,
you
like,
go fight them, motherfucker.
bro, stop. Like, ain't
You
no
fight him.
Yeah, go ahead, G.
Nobody's paying for that treatment. Nobody's
Nope.
paying for your retirement. You get knocked out. You get you know with the CTE and all these other things. It's like nobody's putting money in your pocket, bro. You can love your favorite fighter, but there's no GoFundMe, bro.
Well,
like
that's the
you're
difference.
not you're not tapping in and paying him on a
At
monthly basis.
all.
Thank you so much for that David Benavidez fight. Here you go,
changed
bro.
My life. You inspired me, motivated
Bro, stop.
me. That's the crazy part, bro. That's why I hate when people say that. No, you don't love your fighter, fool. You're an armchair fucking fan. You watched a lot of UFC, so you think you know some shit. When you love your fighter, you're like, damn, that was a war. I don't want to see this fool fight for a little while. I want him to chill, dog. Like, because I want him to be around, fool. I mean, did you not learn from fucking Muhammad Ali and some of these cats?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you really want that.
Shit
Who's
get
that?
dangerous real
Who's that
quick.
young dude that's like in the wheelchair forever now? You know what I'm talking about? Latino cat.
Richard Colon.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think
Yeah,
it's Richard.
Richard,
I think
right?
it's Richard Colon who he was taking rabbit shots to the back of the head.
Yeah,
back of the head, yeah.
And like brain damage for the rest of his life. You love your fighter, bro. I fucking love Mighty Mouse. It would crush me if I seen that fool like that, right? Well, you know what I love to see? When you have a fighter that's retired and he speaks fluently.
Yeah, like a Floyd.
And you know how stupid it is for it to be that simple that that's a positive? So don't tell me you love your fighter, dog. You just want to see this fool beat someone up or get beat up. You don't love him. You love to see violence. And I get that, G. We all do. But, like, when it's done, it's done.
Don't sugarcoat it.
Yeah, yeah. You notice that when we're done fighting, we go and shake hands with their coach. We pick them up. Like, you should probably have that same level of respect and empathy for these cats, because the guys fighting them, when the fight's over, they're like, yeah, I still got homie. Like, we're good. You know what I mean? Respect, respect, respect. I hope you're good. Fighters will fucking tear your ACL and be like, damn, I fucked up. That fool can't fight no more. Loki took the money from his kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They ain't getting paid like that, dog.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's
chill.
facts.
Yeah, let that. But if
That's
he can make his
facts, man.
back, he should make his back.
Hell
You know?
yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
But shit, let's wrap up that little sports segment, man. Let's get back into the Olympics, bro. I want to see your guys' take on this. It was very controversial. If you guys follow American Cholo, he's posted about it, talked about it. So I don't know if you guys saw the drag queens that were at the table for the Olympics.
Yeah,
What was that,
buddy.
like an intro to the Olympics?
Yeah, it was the opening
The
ceremony.
opening ceremony, right?
Yeah, the opening
So-
ceremony.
Ceremony
was
for show.
a lot of drag queens, and then not to mention there was a kid at that table with them.
Yep.
And a lot of people were talking about how they were mocking the Last Supper, bro. If you saw it, what's your take on it?
My take on it is exactly what you just said. Is mocking of somebody's religion, right? Whether you believe in it, you agree with it,
Can we get the volume up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think people are saying that they can't really hear on this other side. But bro, like it doesn't matter if you believe or if that is your religion. Like, when did it become okay to mock other people's religions and faiths? Because if things were reversed, right, and you had people out there burning the LGBTQ flag and like having making
Be a
a
hate
mockery,
crime, homie.
making a mockery of those individuals, right? Like, you would
be
have
doing 25 to life.
bro. You would have not just would it be a hate crime, but you would have so many people in the mainstream media really demonizing like that opening ceremony and saying like, how could you allow these individuals to make a mockery of this group? I'm like, look, the last time I checked, there's over a billion Christians out there in the world, and what's happening is you're allowing not only the country of France but the Olympics to make a mockery of billions of people.
And France, G.
Ah, man,
France?
don't get me started with France, bro.
You gonna let France do it?
France, really, bro?
That's crazy.
Y'all soft.
Where were you
Like,
in World War II, G? Sorry.
Yeah,
Spanish sauce.
or one, or
Ever.
Stop.
What y'all do?
And that's, you know, even fries,
Frog leg,
Some
you know,
bomb pastries.
yeah.
You know,
dumbass wedding rings.
like
yeah, some bomb
pastries are
bread.
fire, low key.
Yeah.
and I must imagine like there's great people in France, right? Just like there's great people here in the
Yeah.
United States. Like what
French
your
people
government,
are awesome.
yeah, what your government does has no reflection to like who you are as an individual, or
Yeah.
you know, you as people,
Lynch 'em.
right? But it's nonsense, man. For you to allow, you know, an event, a worldwide event that's, you know, shown to billions of people when you're making a mockery of billions of people. Like
Yeah.
that's not okay in
No.
any sense of the word.
Can you scroll up real quick, Chris? We had somebody say something. It wasn't the Last Supper. If I'm misinformed on that, my fault. That's what it looked like to me.
It definitely
you know,
did.
is I mean,
There-
the person was in the middle with that thing on their head.
No, it definitely was, right?
It,
Yeah,
I think what he's referring to and what they tried to allude to, that it was like a pagan Greek situation,
Yeah,
right?
get the fuck out of here, dog.
But like you had, I've seen so many, you know, of our brothers and sisters from Islam to Hindus to individuals from
You see-
all over like the spectrum when it comes to religions,
Yeah.
really coming to like
Yeah.
our aid and saying like, no, like I was offended for you guys
Yeah.
because like Christians and people who believe in Jesus Christ, like you guys are continuously, you know, getting the brunt end of a lot of these situations. Like it wouldn't be okay if it was done for like the Jewish faith or the, you know, Islamic faith and, you know, whatnot, but it's
Of
okay
course
for
not.
individuals to do that to Christians. Like that's not cool.
I mean, it is in today's era, right? So what I would say, man, my take is slightly different on it. I'm gonna take the 10-4 hat off of you earlier from the fighting. I'll put it on myself, right? I think with the Olympics, man, if you look at a pattern, they don't do, these aren't ceremonies, G. In my perspective, these are rituals, right? I think that the Olympics is the worldwide Coliseum, dog, right? It's what keeps the whole world fucking looking at stupid shit. Like I'm throwing balls all day, cool, right? But the whole fucking world is sitting down tripping. Fast forward. Fast forward. Play. Ain't no pause around here. If you're uncomfortable, go get a matching purse, G. But to me, bro, like when the whole world is under this like weird ass agenda. It wasn't said openly, this is the Last Supper, you know, shit, bro. But this is clear mockery, dog. And it's like ritualistic. Look at the one they did like 4 or 5 years ago where it was all the pyramids with the eyes and the giant babies and this weird giant floating baby head. You look at typically whatever the fucking political climate is of the era that's just like negative and clearly has some weird off agenda. You see it represented in the Olympics all the time, dude. And some of these huge music awards now, they're openly doing satanic ceremonies and rituals on people. They have Baphomet stars on the bottom. You have Katy Perry coming out on a pale fucking horse. Like this shit is done all day in your face. Back in the day, the term was truth is hidden in plain sight. Nowadays, that shit is just, it's not hidden. It's in plain sight. And so many people get it, bro. If you want to play that game, play the game, right? The crazy part is, if you really want to break it down, a lot of Catholicism is paganism, right? Cathology is literally a mixture of Christianity and paganism. That's why you have saints.
Yeah.
Right, those are your pagan gods before. But the reality is, like, bro, you're not doing. What is a ceremony? Like, it has to establish something. Why
did there need to be drag queens?
Well, what is going on in America
With
right
the
now?
kid.
You have right now in the education system, literally these people trying to indoctrinate and steal the children's minds right now in every way possible. You look at, the crazy part is, if you look at history, some of the wildest events, some of the biggest revolts around governments, and some of the things that were taken the most to really suppress people was sexuality. You really want to control some people in a weird way, you give them God, and then you tell them through their God how to control their own sexuality. Look at every culture, every religion, everybody that was taken over, and look at every revolution that eventually came out, right? In America, there's some weird shit going on. We definitely have some weird agenda going on. We definitely have some type of sexual repression and sexual pollution going on, especially with the minds of our children. We're debating it all day, whether it's the schools, whether it's the school, what they're teaching, whether it's the school, what they're allowed to tell your kids, whether it's the school, what they're allowed to tell the parents they're telling their kids. The government has forever been after taking control of your children. They want to take the male out of the fucking way. They want to take the control of the child, and then you have complete control of the future, right? That's not not a conspiracy. It's not this in-depth, need to be a rocket scientist to break it down. There's some pretty twisted people out there. It's funny because we know like power corrupts out and absolute power corrupts absolutely. We all know that. We say with our bosses, we say it low level, but why the fuck do we never actually apply it to the highest levels of ultimate power? And you don't think that there's an agenda? What the hell does that have to do with sports?
Facts.
Nothing. Zero.
Give me one reason, just one.
Zero.
And the majority of that community, let's be honest, they hate sports because they tie sports with like people who are like toxic masculinity
exactly.
or machistas or like people like that, you know, or like just douchebags. Yeah, is how they look at it. You know, people who really don't care or are concerned with their issues.
Right, I'm a douchebag.
So it's like
cheer to the douchebags.
Yeah. So it's like I don't get it. I don't get the correlation, bro. You know, and then seeing that when I saw that ceremony, I was like, what the fuck? And you know, somebody in the comments saying it's not it, but that's the first thing I thought of was the Last Supper.
I mean,
that's
clear,
literally
bro.
the first thing I thought of, bro.
Really clear.
Also,
you
like
know, somebody in the middle, everybody else surrounding them, like the way they lined up, dog, at the table. It was just like I don't know.
But I wanted to address something that was over here in the chat, and we talked about the Olympics coming here to California, specifically to LA in 2028. Yeah. Do you believe that some fuckery like that is going to happen here in LA?
100%. Yeah.
Oh, bro, 100%. Come on, dog. LA.
This is your cesspool of the world.
Nah, it's San Francisco.
Nah.
San Francisco's the capital of the LGBTQ.
San Francisco's the toilet.
That's headquarters,
it's the bathroom, G.
That's headquarters.
That's the toilet. That's the stall. It's the outback. You go drop a fucking masa on it real quick and bounce.
I've visited there a couple times, dog. You know, they got the big old rainbow flag. You know, I've never seen nothing like it, dog. That's, to me, that's headquarters for that community.
The only reason why I would say all culture comes out of LA, dog. Like nobody wants to be San Francisco. If you want to go there, you want to fuck around, have a good time, then you step in shit when you get out the bus. But LA's just got a perspective, dog, right?
Step on a Niner jersey?
Straight up, fool. With some shit on some shit.
Already taking some shots already, bro. Football season didn't even start, dog.
Fast. He took that one ready quick, football season, G. Yeah, nah, bro. I don't know. I think that, I mean, you have, like, if you want to think about everything, Silicon Valley, Hollywood, all the weird things that are used to kind of control the negative, and just like the octopus that goes out everywhere, it's fucking right here, bro. Like, we're the cesspool, dog. It's unfortunate.
Well, I think that reason that being is because Hollywood is here.
So it's dying soon, G. It's about to be out.
But you know, we've had so much control over the media for such a long time, dog. Hollywood, you know, like,
leave Disney
everything
alone,
that
fool.
leaves here. Everything that, you know, we put in movies or whatever, like, everybody looks up to it, you know. I mean, everybody who wants to be an actor, who wants to be a rapper, they all want to come to LA.
Yeah. Hey, side note, you guys know that the Pentagon literally pays for Hollywood movies to be made?
Yeah.
This shit's so wild.
Yeah, it's, you know, you talk about counterintelligence, right? You talk about, like, how do you reach the youth is when we talked about it, right? We talked about hip hop and how gangster rap was really proliferated in like the 80s and the 90s, right? And how that was made to basically divide and conquer.
Murder, kill.
And then you also talk, because who owns like music and movies and whatnot, right? Is these individuals who are pushing a specific agenda. So like at the very top, like they know exactly what they're doing.
And they're not you.
And they're not you. They don't look like us. They don't look like you, bro. And it's a very, very small cabal at the very top.
Hey, should it be fair that if you're running a record label, you got to be able to spit a bar?
Yeah,
right?
Bro.
You gotta be able to rap, G.
It's like
some bars.
It's like I always compare that to like being like a coach. Like if you're coaching boxing or MMA or something,
fought,
bro, you never fought. Like exactly.
You boxing coaching you a bitch.
Yeah, that's crazy,
bro.
How? Hey, your big homie's a bitch,
bro. What?
How, Sway?
How, Sway? It's like
you don't got the answer.
It's like anything, bro. You teach any sport. You're like, you talking about, you're trying to teach me how to play ball. Be like, bro, you've never played ball in your life. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a good point. I don't know if you saw that comment, Chris, about the Instagram handles, putting the Instagram handles so people can follow.
This fool wants some follows.
Well, no,
Damn,
actually,
fool.
you know the one that got me, that bothered me? That one that bothered me was Jessica. She
Roger
said
followed
no
you?
more bets, fool. Nah, I got bets going
No
right
more
now,
bets.
bro. I'm literally
man.
waiting to cash in.
Damn.
Let me find out Roger followed you.
You just
fool.
ran into some degenerates.
Hey, Roger, if you follow me, bro, I'll put you on my favorites, G. I'll give you my number, bro. You crazy,
No,
dog.
but to go back to that thing we were talking about with the fucking Olympics, I tripped out that they said that the next day after that ceremony happened or whatever, they got like some crazy rain, bro, and all of Paris just like went
Yeah.
like black, bro, like a blackout.
I told y'all,
And it's
bro.
the city of light, G.
Yeah, the black Jesus coming
So
back.
you know, I'm not a super religious person, bro. I have faith, you know, but I'm not somebody who I would say I'm super religious. But that's crazy, dog.
Well,
That's
then-
got to be like some kind of, I don't know.
What do you think about it then? Like when you say you have faith, like
agree.
how comfortable you are openly speaking about it, right? But like in
Yeah.
what way? And how do you interpret this time?
Well, I believe in a higher power.
Yeah.
I believe in God. I'm not too big on religion. I don't think, you know, like, I don't think I need to follow somebody's structure to live based on my morals.
Yeah.
You know, whatever I think is right, whatever I think is wrong. Of course, I grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that, you know, I learned from Catholicism that I
Still stick.
agree with. They
Yeah.
stick with me, you know. But, you know, and there's a lot of things that, you know, I just don't really feel like I don't think you need to live a certain way to be a good person.
Exactly.
Pretty much is what I'm saying.
Would it be fair to say you're agnostic?
What does that mean?
Okay, so I'm agnostic, right? So like a lot of my background and a lot of the things that I find true, a lot of it does stem from, I guess you could say like a Judo-Christian background, right? I have a very different background perspective on it. Plus I do, you know, I'm familiar with a lot of principles in other religions, but at the end of the day, I don't subscribe to any particular God. I personally lean more so that there is a higher power, but I also believe that either could be true. It could all be wrong, and there could be a God. So I leave way for both, but I more so
Yeah.
lean onto a creator.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Right.
probably me.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely me.
I think you're my fault. I think you're gonna say something.
Yeah,
after
no,
that.
I completely agree. I'm like, I feel you. Like, I think for me, you know, personally, like I really kind of took a journey to kind of finding my own spirituality, right?
Yeah.
Ever since I was really young,
If you're
bro.
a stripper, just say, it, bro. You spiritual G.
Nah, bro. I was honestly, man, grew up Catholic, like most of us, right? Grew up
Yeah.
Catholic, and I've always been that individual to ask why.
Yep.
And that's the one thing, like, you know,
Scary
priests
question.
and, you know, people at the church, that's the one question that they hate is like, why? Right. So, like, I went out there and I found, you know, try to find my own spirituality. I was the captain of the FCA, you know, team at my school, which if people don't know what that is the Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
damn.
Went to like Christian camps, you know, did,
you was
you know,
Jesus
bro,
Christ.
for years,
yeah.
man, Bible study, Bible, you know, youth study.
That's right.
You know, Saturday and Sunday service.
That's right.
Really trying to find like my own word, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I encourage everybody like who has any questions about like their own spirituality and, you know, to do their own work, right? Like in anything, you have to do your own research, your own work, right? And, you know, like to DBT's point, like I'm not super religious because I am under the notion that religion is man-made, right?
Yes, sir.
But I do believe in a higher power. I do believe in God. I do believe that there's a higher power overlooking over us, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I sit there and have those conversations in those debates when it comes to science, right? And a lot of individuals, it's like, oh, well, you know, it wasn't Adam and Eve, it was the Big Bang. But the one thing that science will teach you is that things don't happen by chance.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
the
you're,
order can't come from chaos.
order can't come from chaos.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that there was a huge explosion, right?
What
and
happened
then,
before that?
And then everything just fell into place perfectly.
What exploded? Right, and that's the crazy part. Is like people forget science is a religion, G, and your genesis is the Big Bang, and that's fine. But what blew up to create all of the building blocks of all the universe? Where did all the atoms come from? Where did all that chemistry come from?
I was taking catechism classes, right, when I was when I was a teen, and like before I started doing all the FCA stuff. And like one of the last arguments I remember getting into, right, is because the one notion that is really taught, like whatever religion, but specifically the Judo-Christian religions, is that, you know, God works in mysterious ways. And like I raised my hand, I'm just like, hey, do you think that God could be God, Muhammad, Buddha,
See?
you know.
Oh, you going to hell. That little boy going to hell.
Could you think, you know, do you
Get him
think
outta
that
here.
he could be all of them combined, right? Because he you know, when you really read the word, he's like, he understood like to you know, like, you know, one of the, you know, stories in the scriptures, they talk about, you know, God leaving the 99 to go get the one, right? To go get the lost sheep, you know, from the herd, right? So he'll leave everybody to go get him.
100%.
And it's like, you know, if you really say that God works in mysterious ways, then you would have believed that he wouldn't be able to reach everybody under one premise and on, you know, under one situation. So that was the thing that led me to like have an argument there at church, bro, and be like, you know what, I don't want, I'm like, I thought this was a safe place for me to have that conversation. But
isn't that crazy too, how question you can have as just like a fucking young teenager, bro, could just shatter someone's argument that's a full-grown man that sits down and does, and so much so that he has to give up on you or even shun you out or just not question. Crazy part, bro, like when I used to be and all kinds of stupid bullshit, and I changed my life around, right? Yeah, read between the lines. I changed my life around tremendously, right? And stoicism and kind of, that's why I say I'm autodidactic, because just self-learning is the thing that kind of changed me, right? Through that process, the initial thing that I had done way before even stoicism, man, was trying to find myself through religion, right? So I used to actually travel and debate. There's this guy called Todd White. He's this traveling evangelist. He's actually the reason my daughter's name is Grace, in a crazy spiritual weird way. Him or God gave that name to me. I didn't name my daughter at all, right? It's actually why I have this date tatted right there too. So Todd White ended up debating me, right? Didn't debate me at all. Did some wild shit, way too long of a story. What I realized though, bro, was that no teacher, nobody that's strong in their faith, because I've spoken with imams that were, I don't know, just as proper, right? Where you just, there's some people, you know, and you meet them and they're just tapped in, whether it's some like super positive person, it's not for a spiritual reason, whether it's a Christian that, you know, like, damn, you're really tapped in like a good way, right? Or an imam that's a Muslim or whatever. Some people just authentically tap in and they're doing it for the right reasons, and they're a true symbol, a true testament, right? The unfortunate part is that people, we're ideologues, man, and we need to belong to a tribe. And the scary part is religion is a tribe, right? And it's a strong tribe. To your question, the question that you posed, right? Like, that shouldn't shatter anybody's thinking, but the same thing I would say is, like, low key, some religions do create a box, like Christianity, where he couldn't be those other leaders, because then that would be false idols, right? The crazy part that I would say is that it should never be an issue to question, because no God should be mad. I would never be mad at my son for trying to seek understanding and knowledge, especially in a world where the Bible itself says that this world is ran by the devil. This world is not ran by God. So when people are like, why does God let this happen? Why doesn't he interfere with the kids? Read your book, stupid. He's gone, G. It's on you. Right, it's kind of like not Cthulhu. Who's the author for Cthulhu? H.P. Lovecraft. He has a god, the sleeping giant, who he just creates out of his mouth. He sleeps and creation comes out of him as he snores. He's not active in his creation's life, so he doesn't save or hurt anything. The Bible itself says that I do things that you will not understand, things that you would perceive to be evil. Right, that your perception is not divine, dog. So you can't really figure this shit out. What I would say is that a God that is mad at your curiosity while also saying that these 12 tribes will be lost is probably, the issue's probably not with the God. It might be the messenger, right? Because the whole moral of the story is that these people were divine people that were upheld amongst the rest of the nations to be a symbol and a testament to what it is to live as the future Jesus would be, right? And then their penalty for not keeping the laws and the statutes of the commandments was to be scattered across all four corners of the earth. You shall not know your name. You shall not know your religion. You shall serve another God, which you have not known. Right? If you read Deuteronomy, you'll see all your curses that were put on the 12 tribes. And one of the main things is that you will be seeking your root, right? Because you're going to be lost at a point. There's one tribe that's completely wiped out. So if you're ever underneath a fucking religion that doesn't allow you to like question, the whole point, you should question, right? You should be figuring it out, because that's how you're going to figure out if you got a false prophet, if you got a false teacher, if you got somebody misleading through the word, right, and sending you astray. If you don't question, then don't be surprised when you wake up in a cult,
Bro, that part.
right?
Facts.
And bro, I wouldn't serve a God that'd be mad at me for just getting some shit wrong. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
I'm a good guy,
Straight up.
right?
I'm like,
I put my long socks on 1 foot at a time, G.
but talking about questioning,
Yeah.
have you guys really been tapping in with the elections in Venezuela and what's
No.
going on in
I just
Venezuela?
seen them going crazy over there, dog.
Again,
They're fucking,
they got TP, right?
they destroying statues and shit, right?
Damn.
Yeah, so what ended up happening in Venezuela, right, well, is they had an open election, and they are a socialist dictatorship, I guess you can say, and Nicolas Maduro, who is the socialist dictator there, right, like lost by a landslide, and obviously now he's the president again, and he's serving another 6 years.
Oh
and
yeah, the math checks out.
the math checks out.
Yeah, 1 + 1 is 8.
And that's why you're seeing so many Venezuelans like riot in the streets, right? Because you're talking about like there's this whole false like guide that there is democracy, and that we were actually, you know, voting for who's going to be the next president of our country. And, you know, unfortunately, like that's not the case, right? And then you had a couple leaders here in the United States really like, oh, you got to respect what like the Venezuelan people, you know, voted for.
Oh, that's cute.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, it's an obvious robbery. It's an obvious coup. Like, it's insane that we just continue to allow that, because we have like so many individuals that are immigrating to the United States.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't affect us. It affects all the countries around us.
Yes, sir.
And I was watching, you know, and reading articles about individuals in a lot of these border cities in Mexico, like in Tijuana and other cities that border the United States, who are sick and tired of being sick and tired because they have so many individuals that are immigrating to try to, you know, come to the United States through the southern border.
And they're
right?
staying there.
And they're staying there, you know, absorbing a bunch of resources that Mexico doesn't have for their own people.
Come on, G.
Yeah.
And you know, this is really kind of putting a you know, a big burden on like local resources in a lot of those cities, right? But it's insane that, you know, in this country that we live in, or in the world that we live in, is that you still have a lot of these like banana republics.
Well, I mean, you're a socialist nation, right?
Yeah.
What did you expect?
I think it looks like, from like what I've been seeing, dog, I wouldn't doubt there being a civil war in Venezuela, my boy.
Man, it wouldn't end well for them.
Something's gonna crack off.
I don't think it would be. I mean, look at what they've been through since COVID, dog. They've been down since COVID, bro. Like, civil war, it's just not gonna. What are you gonna do? Right? It's fucked up. And
They're gonna
also,
try to do something though.
the reality of it is, like, that's as fucked up as it is. It's not really. There ain't shit we could do about that, unless you want to just further destabilize them more than we've already done. We've pretty much fucked up Venezuela a lot ourselves.
South America, Central
in
America.
general, you know. So, like, personally, I almost want to just be like, you know what? Let's just let them fuck their own shit up, because I don't want us to. We ain't gonna do no good. We're only gonna go there to take something.
Yeah.
Straight up, right? And the TP, we saw what happened then. It's fucked up, man. But I mean, you're not a open election in a socialist country. I would have stopped there. You know what I mean? I could have been like, okay, just go home. Don't vote. Don't waste your time. Right? Like, you got to change your infrastructure. You got to change the way you guys think, you believe. You got to change your education. You got to have a whole wiping out and reapproach. It's not a democracy.
It sounds like the United States, huh?
Fuck, bro. It sounds like we got to go and help them out. Gee, we got to, you know, give them. We got some rebels. We can train them in America.
Nah, you know what is gonna get crazy though? Sinaloa. They just caught Mayo, dog.
G.
They just caught Mayo, my
Yeah,
boy.
they got
Well,
out for 2 days.
there's some people theories behind that, whether he got caught or turned himself in, but
Got turned.
there's already people leaving Sinaloa because he think it's about to get
Damn.
fucking just crazy, dog.
Yeah, Wild Wild West. Damn, for you think they're
I
gonna
mean,
have
you know who
the?
runs the show there, so you know
Yeah.
you take somebody like that gets locked up.
Oh, yeah,
It's a wrap.
you're gonna get those 50 cows
That's
back on
big.
those
That's-
Toyotas, homie.
That's the big homie of the big homies.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm like, man, kind of, especially in forums like this where things are public, right? I kind of reserve a lot of my opinions to
Oh
myself.
yeah, that's
Wise
why
man.
I'm not saying
Wise
nothing
man.
other than what I saw.
It just,
Yeah.
but to your point, like
be
it's
out.
just that ends up happening whenever you have like a power vacuum,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? When somebody of that stature, right, is removed from the fold, like you have everybody fighting for
Yeah.
that.
But
for
he ain't
that power.
dead.
Nah,
Yeah.
he's not, right?
Yeah.
But to that
Which would
point,
have probably made things a lot worse.
That would have made a very different kind of vacuum.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for sure.
I think you're gonna have some drama for a little while, but he'll be out. He'll be out.
We'll see.
You don't think so?
I'm like,
I
man,
don't know, dog.
I'm gonna put $5 on it right now. We're gonna gamble right now.
we're gonna gamble right now.
What's the over under on how many
Over-
years he's gone? G?
Okay, by June 2025, he goes.
Dodgers have been trash since their rainbow nights.
I don't want to hear that. I want to hear who to bet on. Prize picks. Tell me who to put
Man.
my overs unders on, man. I'm
Hey,
struggling.
bro, somebody in the chat earlier said something about Kershaw. I almost bet on Kershaw's
I bet on
over
Kershaw today.
for pitcher strikeouts.
3.5.
I guess he gave up like 6 runs already on
Don't
3
say
errors.
that. I bet
somebody
it
said
over
earlier.
on it.
I'm glad I didn't, my boy.
Damn, G.
Hey,
I'm glad I
man.
didn't.
Hey, put some respect on Kershaw's name,
That's
bro.
what I
Hey,
was
dog,
I'm not
relax.
saying nothing
Fool,
bad
but
about him, but I'm just saying today he
Hey,
would
bro,
have.
hold on.
If I would have bet on him, I would have been chewing him up right now.
Hey,
Bro,
relax.
I'm like,
I would
bro,
have been fucking.
I'm just gonna let everybody in the
disrespecting them.
bro.
Oh, it's
I'm
not
just gonna
3.5. It's 4 now.
I'm just gonna let everybody in the chat know it could be a lot worse. We could be Angel fans. So,
It's 4.
yeah.
Hey, I got 1 out of 3 so far, right? Oh boy,
They haven't given an update yet.
Yeah, fucking I'm scared. I'm fucked. I lost it.
I don't think he's gotten a strikeout.
It's all right.
But somebody inform us has fucking has Kershaw gotten a strikeout at least one?
I don't think so.
Tell me 5,
I hope so.
please.
I hope so, man. But
That's why I don't like
man.
baseball, man. Fuck baseball. I was like, I'll learn this bullshit through betting, gambling.
right,
Fucking hate baseball.
Oh, you're trying to learn baseball through gambling?
I'm just making an excuse to gamble more.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's just crazy. You can gamble on games and that shit too.
nah, you're right. You can gamble on everything.
That's cool.
You know, you can
You
gamble on
gamble
everything.
on all types of shit, dog.
Can you gamble on the election?
I doubt it.
Like, can you,
I
hey,
doubt it.
because
Hey, hold up.
hey, that's not a guarantee. I'm like, why wouldn't you be able to gamble on the election?
It's a 50-50.
Yeah, bro. Why wouldn't
Hey,
you?
hey, can I say this one thing?
I
bro?
doubt it though. I mean that.
Why?
How do you? Because dog, like I don't know.
There's
How-
got to be a site.
I don't think so, dog.
Why not though? It's a 50-50,
Yeah, the
right?
I've never
not
heard
predetermined.
Fully,
That's
you know,
as good as the odds get.
you know how
Hey, chill,
long?
fool.
You know
There's
how
no
long
script.
gambling's been around for? I've never heard of it.
Does anybody in the chat know? Can
I
you?
doubt
Can
it,
you?
bro.
I
Can
bet
you bet?
gambling was bet the same day as prostitution was made the same day as prostitution. They're probably both the two
They
oldest.
went hand in hand, huh?
You see, Johnny
Yeah.
Cruz says you can.
You can?
Milton también. You
What the
can.
fuck?
Yeah, I'm telling you. I know there's a website that allows you to gamble all kinds of wild probabilities.
I'm about to throw a ban on Trompito.
Straight up. A band only?
Bro.
G? After you're talking about Neo?
Fool,
Bro,
you gotta
Neil.
think about the dirty ass shit that these people will do to make Canelo win, dog.
Yeah.
It's-
You gotta think
no,
about.
but
Fool, they're
pause.
gonna go to the.
They will. But did you see that fucking Elon Musk said he's going to donate like $54 million a month to his campaign?
He said that was false.
Damn.
Said he was
false.
Come
Damn.
on, Musk.
But I believe he
I
did.
lost
I
you on
believe he
Mars.
did donate 54 mil though.
That's
That's still a
that's
fat
good,
bag,
G. That was
dog.
good.
Hell
That's a
yeah.
good chunk of change.
What's up, G?
Yeah.
That's a good.
SpaceX for life, dog. I want the Space Force back.
That's a good chunk of change. It's probably my favorite novella to watch, bro. Right
Yeah,
now is
yeah.
like the politics, like the election, because it's incredible. Like I used to be that individual, right? That was like, oh yeah, I voted my whole life as a Democrat, right? I'm like,
Sick
you know,
ass fool. Damn, fool, I thought I knew you, G.
bro, I ended up
That's
turning
crazy.
when I lived in DC, I ended up turning into an independent because
Homies
it's
and
like
homies.
realizing like on both sides.
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
look, there's
That's right.
garbage on both sides.
That's right.
I'm like, they're definitely not here for the American people to say the least, right?
No.
But at least speaking from the perspective of allowing people to have conversations.
Yep.
Like the media has become so divisive that I want to get answers, right? Like whether you're asking, Trump or you're asking fucking Kamala, like Kamala, for example, like she just continues to fucking dance around every fucking question that is asked about her.
Speak gibberish.
Like it's the same thing with fucking Newsom. It's the same exact fucking thing where like you're asking them direct questions of like, how are you going to curb inflation? And then she goes up and she gives a 5-minute speech about how we're taking inflation seriously. But my bitch, you didn't fucking answer.
I don't think you said anything.
You didn't say a damn fucking thing.
Shit.
You didn't say a damn thing. I'm like, my groceries are twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Gas is twice as much, such and so forth, right? I'm like, how are you going to fix this? And it's like, well, we're doing great things and we're taking this seriously. I'm like, that's not what the fuck I asked you.
So you don't
how
like
are you going to
talk?
Bro, you know what I saw the other day, bro? There's a statistic that people right now are struggling more than they were in 2008 just to, for a car payment.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Like, and there's people who are saying that they make 200 bands a year and they're still feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck.
And you know what's crazy, man? To think this has to be a testament on how easy it is to just tank a thriving economy within 4 years. Because we were straight.
Well, yeah.
We were working out. We were doing better.
It was after Rona.
Yeah, it was after the Rona.
After that shit, that biological warfare.
Yeah, which nothing came of it.
It fucking.
You remember when they said within 3 years all your non-vaxxers would be dead?
I'm still alive.
I'm right here, G.
Me too.
It's crazy.
In better health, bro.
Right.
And seeing a lot of people within my immediate circle who did take the vax,
drooling and shit,
who are going through a lot of situations, bro. A lot of they're finding out they're having all these cardiovascular diseases and diseases that they don't run in their families, bro.
Yeah, because you didn't know what the fucking RNA was going to do to you.
And it's,
meshes with your genetics.
Look at the high school students, bro. They're athletes, dog, and they were dropping like flies, fool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying like dying. Some of them were dying, but look at Bronny.
Yeah.
He had heart problems, bro. He fucking collapsed on the court, and that wasn't just. I mean, he got all the news attention, but there was high school kids all over the states, bro. Fucking
still a shit total old ass.
We're talking about people who work out. They're athletes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is insane now that we live in in this world of misinformation. Like, where do you guys get your news? Like, where do you guys go to try to view unbiased news?
American Cholo Instagram.
Sick ass fool, dog. Hell yeah. Sick ass fool.
That's right. AC, shout out to AC. But like, are there media? Is there media out there that's like some like in the middle? Does it exist?
No,
Fox News.
Okay. You know what's a beautiful thing, dog? Fox News is crazy, dog. Hold up. Hold on. I'm gonna do a quick one real quick because I know Gil gonna look on me. If you're tired of your fake ass media and your president falling asleep on you, then backing out. Because he said he was gonna do that shit like 8 years ago. Get you some Hater extract. Keep your focus on. Keep your vitality up. You know what I'm saying? Stay in the game, homie. Don't drop out. And the Olympics is crazy. So what I was saying when you look at fucking what's it called, comology? I don't know, dog. Like, you know what? I was actually thinking we already got past that point. You already talked about that. What was the last thing you said? I was thinking about that political talk still.
Where you get unbiased information.
Oh, so this is when you look at.
I thought you were gonna say from Kamala.
I was like, damn, straight up, fool, come on,
we were
dog.
talking about that.
You don't want to practice and exercise in futility, homie. You don't want to try to break down her fucking cryptic messages. Nah, but what I say is like the beautiful part about America is that anybody can be media. Right, it's at our leisure that we're allowed to break down and deduce our own information, and I think that's the difference of being the people in charge definitely don't want a free thinking society that's capable of critical analysis, right? Because I think that if you're capable of critically analyzing things and thinking freely and openly, regardless of what your personal agenda would be, you'd be able to kind of cross-reference all your own shit. You wouldn't need Fox or CNN. You could clearly see what's going on and just, I mean, why don't you know about your governor? Why don't you know about economics? Why don't you know about all these things that impact your life? And if you did, it would make it very easy for you to just see what's going on and deduce your own information. Why do you lean and give your brain to other people? Why can't you? It's Google, dog. There's no reporters anymore like back in the day. They don't go out there and night crawl and try to figure shit out. Nah, just the homie tells them, hey, fool, this is what's going to happen. Show up, set up a TV camera right here on this corner. You're going to shoot at this angle. We're going to capture about 1.5 minutes and you roll the beef. Right. They're not going out there and finding information, bro. They're getting told them. They're getting a script, and then you just buy it.
Does anybody in the chat know? I'm like, I guess because this is true. Like, this is a real question.
You
Like,
know what's a pretty good source, bro? Realistically, is Twitter.
Twitter can be. Depends who you follow.
Yeah, it depends on who you follow, but you'll see a lot of shit on there that is crazy. Like you won't see the big media push.
Porn like a motherfucker.
And that's, thanks to Elon Musk, bro. Because before Elon Musk bought Twitter or whatever, it's called X now, but before he bought Twitter, fool, that shit was some bullshit. Like you couldn't, if you had even a slight opinion about something that they didn't think was cool, they took your shit down.
Damn.
They would take it off. They would put like this banner under, like Instagram does. Like, you gotta
like
fact, this is false or whatever the fuck. On Twitter, bro, you see, and I'm not saying everything on Twitter is true, but you'll see some shit on there that, you might have not heard of, in big media. And then from there, you do your own research.
Exactly.
And that's the thing is like people just don't take it how it is, bro. Like people see fucking certain shit and right away they just want to believe it. Or they see an article and they read the big words and they run with that and they don't fucking follow through with it. You know,
did the thinking
and
for
then
them.
now you saw that and you're spreading misinformation to everybody that you know.
Yeah, because you're informed somehow and somebody else thought of everything for you.
Yeah,
and made it bite sized. Nah.
Yeah,
no, that's a really good point.
But now it's so easy to access all types of information, bro.
Yeah.
And it's the internet, so a lot of it's false too.
That's the scary part.
I feel like it comes down. That's what's hard though, because it comes down to like a personal opinion, and like they always say, facts over feelings. And sometimes when you let your emotions win, bro, like you might see something that's completely true, but you're like, nah, fuck that. Like that could never happen.
Well, that's why you have cognitive dissonance, man. Like you have an emotional mind and then you have an actual critical mental mind, right? Like that's why you can be in an argument with like your girl, your mom, your dad, and like freak out and say some shit or just get so out of pocket, out of character, and later you're like, what the fuck was that? Your emotional mind took over.
It's a physical reaction to that point, right? Like I've been reading this book,
reaction versus response.
So I've been reading this book by Dr. Joe Dispenza called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Oh.
And I'm almost done with it. It's a great read for those individuals that just want to kind of deep dive into themselves, right? Because I'm a firm believer that nobody should get you out of your feelings. So nobody should have, no other man or woman or person should have that much control over you, right? To get you out of your feelings, to get you upset. And that's something that, being an emotional creature myself that I've struggled with, right? That I try to curtail and I try to curb and I try to think about things first, right? And before, like, it's the old adage, like, think before you speak, think before you act, and all of that.
How difficult is something so simple?
And it's crazy because you did bring up that when it came to family, and me myself, like, I found myself doing that where something was said or something was done, and I didn't even have time to think, and I already felt and I already reacted. I felt like that reaction was so natural that I'm going back to like my reading and saying like, yo, like, it's ingrained in our like muscle memory.
Inventory check, homie.
Yeah, to react to certain things because we've conditioned ourselves to react to those things that way.
It's a threat.
And we haven't taken the time to sit there and really analyze the information, make a conscious decision of like what we're gonna do, and then act. And it feels like you get this like mob mentality when it comes to like politics that we're speaking about, right? Like you hear somebody say, oh, Trump is trying to, take our guns, or, which he's never going to do, right? But, Trump is trying to do X, Y, and Z, or Kamala is trying to do X, Y, and Z, without sitting there and trying, doing the research and really finding like that, information and doing your own research and making and formulating your own decision based on your own research, not with the whole opinion. Your informed opinion. Wow. Not because DBT told me something or you told me something. I might take that, with a grain of salt, but I'm going to go and do my homework, right? But a lot of people like, Gil was on here the last time that we were having a conversation where he went to go debate these two individuals and he was pressing them on policy. And, if you had an opportunity to watch that, when he actually pressed them about policy and facts, they had no idea what to say.
Oh, so they don't know what the fuck's going on.
Because it was all based on feelings and emotions and opinions, right? And feelings are not facts.
No. That's the worst way to have an intellectual debate. We all know that when you're having an argument with two people, are having an argument, the argument is ended the moment slander, name calling, and disrespect is presented, right? You lost that moment, right? Because again, like what controls you is what can get you out of your emotions is your master, right? And what it sounds like, dog, is like a lot of what you're looking into is stoicism in a way, right? It's like domesticating your emotion, taking inventory check of yourself, because you can't control. Emotions are not tangible, and they're not real, right? They're not a real thing. The same way that like time's not a real thing. It impacts us, and we operate our whole lives around time, right? Same with emotion. But you can't put emotion in a cup. You can't tell me what color it is, what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it tastes like, what the measurement of it is. You can't measure anger, right? But what I know is that this non-tangible, not real thing has like physiological responses in us that do manifest in the real world, right? Almost like some spiritual shit, right? Out there in the ether. It's really, really, really hard, and it takes so much bandwidth for you to take that moment and realize you're being impacted physically, right? There's some shit, if you're ever taking therapy, there's some shit called like hertz, right? Where it's like, whenever you're about to have a conversation, first of all, you got to assess how much is this conversation worth to me, right? How important is this conversation? In 5 minutes or 5 hours, how much will it matter, right? And once you figure out it matters enough to break that combo down, you're supposed to take inventory check. Am I hungry? Am I sleepy? Am I sad? Am I this? Am I that? Right? To make sure that, because that element of self-care is what's really going to allow you to actually sit down and fucking have the conversation that you need to have. Because if not, if you're really hungry, have you ever tried to talk to somebody when you had to take a piss?
Oh, you can't.
Can't, right? So it's the same shit. Your needs not met, dog. You're gonna be sitting there just trying to spit out combo, get it done with. You're not trying to break that down in a proper way. So your responses, the difference between reacting and responding, bro, is that when I react to something, I'm not conscious of my action. I'm in autopilot. When I respond to something, I'm thinking like, hey, you know what, low key, I just thought I want to smack the fuck out this fool right now. Maybe I should breathe, take a chill pill, right? One of the best things I learned is like when people insult you, like play games with disrespect in a way, right? Like if you insulted me or said something disrespectful, I'm not going to lash out on you. Like I probably could fuck you up, but instead I'm probably going to pause, stare at you for a second. I'm like, could you repeat that again? Because most of the time when someone's being an asshole and being argumentative, they're in response or react, and they don't want to do it the second time. Ask somebody to call you a dickhead twice in a row and watch how different that combo goes, right? Because they're in survival mode. You're defending yourself. Somebody's attacking you with words, right? But now, bro, like taking inventory check, taking account of yourself, your needs, making sure that you're in a good space to have combos, because that shit's impossible.
And I definitely feel like that's exactly what's happening right now in this political climate, bro, because it's really hard. Like I want to sit there and, really read and find out like information about like people's policies, like Trump's policies and Kamala's policies, right? So I can be informed and have like real conversations. Like I don't want to just base, my decisions, on emotion, right? Like I already know the reasons why I feel the way I feel about Kamala was because of her work here as the DA, her work here in California. There's a there's a laundry list of things that I can point to, right? But, when it comes to just like feeling some type of way about politics, it kills me that, individuals instantly, like, for example, and I see it all the time, like on mainstream media, like, oh, I'm a Trump supporter, I'm a Kamala supporter. And if you're, interviewing, let's say The View, or you're interviewing on somewhere that doesn't agree with your viewpoint, bro, like immediately they're attacking you. Yeah. They're attacking your opinion. They're attacking your decision to support whoever you want to support. And I'm like, and when the fuck did we get away from having, agreeing to disagreeing? When did we get away from like sitting there and allowing you to have like an actual conversation about your points? To be like, well, why are you voting for X, Y, and Z?
And respectfully.
And respectfully, the respect is completely gone. It's like now it's like, oh well, fuck the other side because they're from the other side. And it's, individuals are acting like children.
It's kind of like their reaction to Trump not getting murdered was so repulsive, bro. Like, why would you want that, dog? Like, even if you don't like the fool, like, all right, you really wanted to see that though? Like, what if you like, how far have
even
you fallen?
If the tables were turned and it was Biden, like, why?
I would hate that.
Yeah.
Nah, lock that fool up. Get whoever the fuck did that to your president. That's your president. For why do people feel like they can slide like that? Man, ain't no problem at all. Like Trump or not, fool. Nah.
Facts. I want to go back to a comment that I saw earlier. It's a little more off topic. If you could scroll up a little bit, Chris. It was about TikTok. They said, if you guys let them shut down TikTok, we are fucked. I kind of disagree with that.
No, what?
Just because TikTok is owned by the enemy,
Yeah.
China.
And it's
And
not
if you
Asian.
weren't tuned in last week, remember fucking Big Gil?
Oh yeah.
OG Gil was live on TikTok, giving his opinion about everything that he believed. When it comes to politics, he was basically ripping the libs a new one, bro. In terms of what he believes in and why they're wrong, and to each their own. But they shut his shit down, bro.
No.
They banned him from TikTok live for like a week.
What?
Yeah,
Right
dog.
here.
It like live on while we were on the show, bro. He was on here on TikTok live, bro, just giving his opinion about everything, and like randomly they just banned him.
I mean, that's you're in this. Your internet was throttled. G.
But like, if the defense there is because you think that you see things on TikTok that they don't show us in the media or whatever, like that's just proof right there.
Yeah, literally.
Like he couldn't even voice his opinion without getting shut down like right away.
Not even censored. Shut down for a week, dog. You went in TikTok jail for a week.
TikTok jail.
Like, Joe, just stop the live and give him a warning.
Not why though? Not even that.
Well,
like
obviously
it's
you
a freedom of
shouldn't.
speech.
Yeah,
Like
not in
what? He's not
America.
even. Like if he's on here saying some foul shit and like
No, they let that slide.
It couldn't be any.
Right? They let that slide.
they got bitches showing titties and ass.
Fools getting their brains blown out.
But
G.
fucking OG Gil can't
No,
be pro-Trump.
You can't have a political opinion. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, he's so wrong, obviously, right?
Because the algorithm is owned by the Chinese, bro.
Yeah.
We've said that. You've said that.
Yeah,
We've said that
100%.
plenty of times here.
Yeah,
That
their
they-
TikTok is gold.
Yeah, their
I
TikTok
want
is
their
great.
TikTok. I'd give
You
them.
know?
I'd give my kids their TikTok.
Yeah,
Crazy
likewise.
part.
100%.
I would not give my kids American TikTok. You got
Nah.
me fucked up.
Nah,
That's sad.
Not at all.
Yeah, they're not gonna ban it though. Don't trip. Too much fucking bread coming.
Too
through.
much
Too
money.
much, bro. Come on, China owns a bunch of shit over here. You're gonna stop China? What do you mean? Your fucking corn will stop coming in. Your wheat will stop coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's your agriculture, not your products. Sorry, it's the agriculture on your land here in America.
Facts.
Yeah.
Hey man, but I got one more topic, before we wrap this up, and it's an interesting topic. It kind of stirs away from the whole politics and all that we've been talking about. I saw this statistic that from 1980, which was at 18%, to 2022, is when they did this the study, and it was released now. From 18% to now 40%, women that are having children are single. Now 40% of women that are having children are single moms.
Damn.
And in 1980, it was 18%.
Government did a good job.
What's cracking with that? Are fools just being scandalous now? Like,
Yeah.
so it's just,
Hey, don't put it on us.
we're not
G.
trying to be dads
We
or
ain't
what?
shit, dog.
Damn,
We ain't
fool.
shit. We ain't shit, dog.
Hey, my kid's been good.
Nah, I'm fucking with y'all. Nah, it's putting our tinfoil hat on, right? Like it goes back to that agenda of removing the male from the family unit.
Yeah.
And this isn't a something that hasn't been floated around for like decades now, right?
Yeah.
This isn't a conspiracy. It's things that people know, like divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And if we can remove like that strong male influence and the male from the family unit, then everything else will fall.
I mean, yeah, you see this happened in the 80s, right? What is that? 40 years is about a generation. I think you're seeing the response of a generation to what they tried to implement, which was destroying the nuclear family and making sure that the woman was completely codependent on the government and that they owned all your children. That's why there's a difference between children and kids, right? There's a literal reason why we use the words we use. The government owns your children. So yeah, I think they were successful, and now you're realizing this is what it looks like.
And and it's a big trend too, like in mainstream, like the whole like fools ain't shit, and
Yeah.
you don't need a man and all that, like.
There's some fools ain't shit. You're right.
No, of course.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a
No,
lot
of
of fools
course.
ain't shit.
But
More
like
ain't shit than that.
they
but-
generalize a lot.
That's true.
Like the media does, and they push that forward like crazy.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what you said,
Mhm.
about just kind of getting rid of that. I don't know. I thought it was crazy, bro. And if there's one thing for sure is that I'm learning, like as I've gotten older. I used to I wouldn't say I wouldn't believe it, but I didn't see it as often. But now, like with people I know, I see it. Either family or friends. Like there's females out here keeping their kids from dads, bro.
Yeah.
Like straight up, dogs. Like
Yep.
like people that don't know might want to say like, oh, that dad ain't doing shit. Like, nah, there's females out here really grimy, you know?
And the dad is busting his ass, doing everything.
Yeah,
right?
of course. You know, and I think, you know, you just got to take a lot of things into account. But I think my general question was like, why do you guys think that? And I think you hit it on the head perfect, bro.
And I think it's really important for children to have both parents. I think it's important for, you know, your mother to be there and your father to be there, because it's you learn different traits and emotional traits and different nuances from both parents.
Yeah.
And your development as a child into like a young adult, into an adult, has a lot to do with your upbringing, right?
Yeah.
And it has a lot to do with like, you know, the amount of like love and, you know, information and knowledge and things that your parents are kind of pouring into you. And I couldn't, you know, I tell both my parents, right? Like, you know, one thing my mom would always tell me is like, when you get to my age, you know, when you get to your 30s, when you get to my age, you're going to understand all the stuff that I'm telling you. And I'm like, Mom, you have no idea.
I know it all already.
Yeah, I know everything. You have no idea what the hell you're talking about. And now, like, I find myself like, you know, I'm lucky enough to have both my parents, and I'm lucky enough that they're still on this earth, and I'm lucky enough to be able to see them, you know, regularly.
Yeah.
And I always apologize to my mom, because I'm like, yo, I was a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I made your life unnecessarily hard, you know, and I wouldn't be able to be the man that I am today without my dad. Without my dad really whooping my ass, without my dad, you know, instilling like those, you know, hard work and dedication into me, right? And like learning what a real man, and at least in my opinion, right, what real man represents,
And experiencing it.
and experience it firsthand, right?
Exactly.
Because like all these false idols and the things that I see on TV, I'm just like, you know, I love, you know, artists, you know, because like we're huge into music, right? You know, sports as well. But I'm like, look, my hero's my pops.
Yeah.
Because that man, you know, that man, and a lot of our dads and our parents, right, came to this country with nothing, leaving a whole world behind to give us a better opportunity.
Crazy.
And to sit there and say that a child doesn't need the care and the love of their mother, you know, one, you know, or doesn't need that firm hand from their father, right? Like it's a falsehood. So I'm just here to kind of reiterate the fact that you need both parents. I believe, like, you know, healthy children are made with having a strong influence of both, and not necessarily does it have to be, you know, your biological parents, right? It's having individuals step in, like having good women and good men be able to step in and fill in those roles if you're not fortunate enough to have your parents in your life. But the reason why do I believe that this has happened is because divide and conquer. If you can divide us, like just at that very elementary level of like man and woman in relationship, I'm like, you can control us. And then you start to see a lot of these things that come from that.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
I agree. Shit. Well, there you go. There you have it. Shit, Frankie just hit it right on the head.
The money.
Perfect. But what's up with y'all boys, man? We about to wrap this episode up. What you got going on, you know, this weekend or the rest of the week?
Shit, man, I'm just gonna pass out some more of this Hadar Extracts. You already know what it is.
There you
tap
go.
in Hadar Extracts 1 on Instagram. Get you some gas, right? Also, yeah, like one more thing, just you struggling with mental illness, whether you're a man or a woman, you're struggling with any type of communication issues, go get you some help. Tap in, get some good loving people around you, right? Stay with the people that matter, stay with the people that want to see you do good. Don't worry about all this crazy political shit going on. Just stay around your loved ones. Smoke you some gas.
There you go.
Man, likewise, bro. I couldn't have said it better, bro. Like, really love yours and tap in with your family. You know, really cherish these moments because you might not get them.
Sure.
You know, it's a blessing to wake up every single day, not be 6 feet under. And I want to give a big shout out to, Gil, aka American Cholo. But I also want to give a big shout over here to the homie who's about to turn some 25 right next to me, bro.
Yeah.
So
Oh, shit.
DBT's birthday is tomorrow, if I'm right.
Body kicks.
So, happy birthday, big dog.
That's right.
May, God continue to bless you with more life.
Appreciate you, my boy. Well, shit. Y'all already know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the week. It's a birthday week, so we're going to have some fun. But, yeah, man, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. You want to scroll up real quick, Chris? Was it a super chat? I think. Oh. Doughboy Tony father figure song is fire. Appreciate that, Fainer Lokes, man. Appreciate that. Member for 48 months. That's what's up, man. If you ain't a member, become a member. Tap in. Tune into the show. You already know OG Gil got the good stuff, man. Milton Ortiz, $9.99. Great episode, boys. Everyone here should go check out American Cholo interviewing Alex Balikane. Right?
Yeah, great interview.
Okay, hell yeah. I want to make sure I pronounce that right. Well, there you go. Tap in. Well, appreciate everybody, man. It's another episode of What's the Word on Wednesdays on American Cholo, the realest platform on YouTube. Make sure y'all tune in next week. Get some more great convos going, baby. Let's go.
Sheesh.